We can all agree that it is a sad day when an animatronic that we love is retired forever. Knowing that they will probably never come back makes it worse. That's why we asked the Duck Squad to pick their most missed animatronics, and you voted for your favorite one. So let's take a look at some of the most missed animatronics to see which one is number 1. Number 10, Food Wrapper, Food Rocks. Food Rocks opened in March of 1994 in the Land Pavilion at Epcot. This attraction was themed as a benefit concert for good nutrition, where groups like the Peach Boys, Refrigerator Police, the Get the Point Sisters, and many more played for guests. The music was based on popular songs by well-known performers, with lyrics adapted to the topic of nutrition, like the Peach Boys singing Good Nutrition, or the Refrigerator Police singing Every Bite You Take. The whole benefit was hosted by Food Wrapper, who was voiced by real-life rapper Tone Loc. The show was being interrupted all the time by The Excess, a junk food heavy metal band that hated nutrition. The show had 12 musical numbers and lasted 12 minutes. The audio animatronics in the show were food items with human features that had minimal motion. Exaggerated lighting effects and high volume tried to hide the lack of animation. Actually, some of them looked like props. But the most complex and coincidentally missed animatronic we could find in this attraction was Food Wrapper, and he was definitely in the top 3 favorites. He had a lot of personality and much more movement than the other animatronics in the attraction. This attraction closed down on January 3rd, 2004, to make way for Epcot's new attraction, Soarin'. It is highly unlikely that we will ever get to see this show again, sadly. Number 9, the Barker Birds, Enchanted Tiki Room.
Buenos dias, senor and senoritas. How do you do down there? Aloha. It is showtime now in Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
When you think of Disney animatronics, it is hard not to think about the Tiki Room birds. After all, the Enchanted Tiki Room served as the debut of Disney's patented audio animatronics figures. This attraction was so groundbreaking at the time that Walt and the Imagineers figured that guests wouldn't understand precisely what awaited inside. So to give guests an idea of the wonders that would await them inside this attraction, they came up with a great idea: Juan the Barker Bird. Juan, who is rumored to be Jose's cousin, was a macaw positioned atop the ride's marquee, with the simple job of acting as a carnival barker, excitedly spieling to attract guests to the show. Juan would chirp, whistle, and speak, giving guests a glimpse of the wonders that would wait inside. This new animatronic did its job a little too well. It was so fun to watch it and so impressive for guests that he became an attraction in his own right. Guests were known to gather around and gawk at the figure with such intensity, and for such a long time, it became a problem because they would often cut off the pathway leading into Adventureland. This sadly resulted in Juan being out of a job and became retired. Number 8, Luxo Jr., Hollywood Studios. We can't think of Pixar without thinking of Luxo Jr. And in 2009, also as a part of the Living Characters initiative, Disney bought Luxo Jr. to life as an animatronic. This animatronic could be found near Toy Story Mania at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This cute new animatronic was part of a mini show that took place every 15 minutes, where Luxo Jr. would come out, interact with guests, and dance to many Pixar songs. After the animatronic came to the park, Disney started selling Luxo Jr. merchandise, but this resulted in a lawsuit by Luxo ASA, the Norwegian company that manufactures Luxo lamps, who claimed Disney violated its trademarks by selling promotional lamps branded as the Luxo Jr. character. Disney settled with Luxo ASA and agreed not to sell Luxo Jr. lamps. While Luxo ASA did not object to artistic renditions of the lamps and allowed Pixar to keep using Luxo Jr. as a character. But curiously, shortly after this settlement, the Luxo Jr. animatronic was retired from Hollywood Studios. Many people say this was a part of the deal, while others say it was because of technical difficulties. Whatever the case, the animatronic was removed. Luckily, Luxo Jr. did come back to the parks. Nowadays, he can be found at the entrance of Pixar Pier. This new animatronic is not as complex as the other one that appeared in Hollywood Studios, but it is adorable. Number 7, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse Review. Coming back to one of our favorite retired attractions, Mickey Mouse Review. When Disney World opened, Mouse Review was one of the Magic Kingdom's opening day attractions. In this attraction, many Disney characters sing, dance, and put on a fantastic show inside of a theater. This show had 73 different Disney characters and 81 animatronics. There were so many great animatronics to choose from, but our favorite has to be Mickey, of course. After all, this was the only Mickey Mouse animatronic that existed in any Disney attraction at the time. After a short movie, Guests entered a theater where Mickey appeared on a pedestal that rose from the floor, with an orchestra of several Disney characters following. After the orchestra's number, many other Disney classic characters appeared in their own scenes, singing and dancing to their signature songs. When these scenes were done, the whole cast appeared and sang together. When they finished, the entire stage went dark, except for Mickey. The Mickey Mouse alma mater started playing, and then Mickey announced the show was over. This show was amazing, but sadly, people stopped visiting it, resulting in the attraction being closed in September of 1980. It was then shipped overseas and installed at Tokyo Disneyland, where it stayed for 26 years, until it ultimately closed to be replaced by Mickey's PhilharMagic. Some animatronics were put away, others were recycled for other attractions, and we can happily report that the Mickey's animatronic is safe and sound in the Walt Disney Archives. It was even on display in the 2011 D23 Expo Treasures of the Walt Disney Archives. We honestly found it very surprising that this animatronic is not higher on the list. Number 6. Hopper. It's tough to be a bug. A surprising addition to our list because Hopper is considered by many a pretty scary animatronic, but apparently he is missed by many. This animatronic could be seen in the It's Tough to Be a Bug show, which opened in Disney's Animal Kingdom in 1998, followed by a second version in Disney's California Adventure in 2001. This show features Flick and many other insects. Flick has made us honorary bugs just long enough for him and his pals to show off a few insect survival skills, and a rousing musical number to remind us just how vital bugs are in the world. Everything is going great until Hopper arrives. The 9-foot-tall, 4-armed grasshopper appears out of nowhere, bursting onto the stage in an explosion of smoke. With his one glassy eye, spindly limbs, and a disturbing snake-like rattle from his sputtering wings, the animatronic scolds the audience for the horrific ways humans treat the insect kingdom. He is pretty frightening. But the worst part of the show is when Hopper calls his insect friends to attack guests. They show movie clips from old monster movies that feature giant bugs. They attempt to flatten the audience using a giant fly swatter. Several hornets sting the audience using pneumatic pistons in the seat. And lots of Black Widow spiders go up and down within inches of the guest's reach. Thankfully, in the end, a chameleon tries to eat Hopper, and he gets scared, so he retreats. This show closed permanently in California Adventure on March 19th, 2018, when a Bugs Land closed to make way for Avengers Campus. But don't miss him too much, because thankfully, we can still find it at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Ready to see which ones are next? Then don't miss the next video. We'll be talking about the top 5 animatronics missed by you.